Today on DrPhil.
People who go to the extreme.
Are you too controlling?
I'm the CEO of my household. My home is my business.
You have to be controlling. The world might come off its axis.
How much fun are you to live with?
What if it's destroying your marriage?
Everything has to be just right.
She has to be in control.
What are you thinking?
Sucks. I'm tired of it.
Do you feel like you can't please her?
I feel like I don't measure up.
Do you love your husband?
I do.
Yes, I love him. Well, that was warm. I may ask you to just totally throw caution to the wind and break out in a smile. All right. I have a question for you. Do you know someone who is so exacting about even the smallest of things that you're standing around thinking, you know, this is just borderline obsessive? Well, today we're talking about people who go to the extreme. It's not bad to be organized. We're talking about going to the extreme just to achieve this so-called perfect Stepford type image. But it doesn't have to be like that. In my book, Family First, I talk about the steps to creating a phenomenal family. My first guest, Beth, says she does everything in her power to create the facade of a perfect family. Her husband, Tony, says, oh, do not be fooled. Things are not what they appear behind the white picket fence and the closed door. Take a look.
You're going to have to come in and get your soccer stuff on. I'm going to make you something, and that's what you're going to have.
I would describe myself as a poster child for a controlling perfectionist. Everything I do, it has to be just right. When I think of a Stepford family, the family who have it all together, but behind closed doors, things aren't necessarily the way that they appear.
All hell's breaking loose.
That's not good.
Whatever.
Not cool.
She feels like she has to be in control.
You need to sit up at this table or be excused.
As Tony's mother, I think Beth is very much like Bree on Desperate Housewives. She has the perfect hair, the perfect clothes.
I would definitely say I'm obsessed with the way I look. My weight limit is about 115 pounds.
But I gave you an instruction.
I would say that we do play a charade.
It looks good to everybody else, but come and join us for a day or two. Sucks.
Excuse me? What are you thinking?
I do control every move my kids make.
You remember what you have to do?
Yeah,
Can you list them all?
brush our teeth.
If they hit 3 strikes on the chart, then they lose TV for the day.
You have a strike too. I think you missed them. Do you want me to do it?
I will remind them to wipe when they go to the bathroom. I'm constantly reminding them to do everything. I will check their homework. I'll circle what's wrong, and then I will give it back to them. Can you finish it right, please? Okay, that needs to go in your backpack, please. I'm at the school so much that they probably get tired of seeing me. Then I can be there and control what's going on. It's another little tally on my little perfection chart. I do want them to act like little adults.
Hunter, please quit swinging that bat.
When we're out, I definitely expect them to be respectful. Just kind of walk like little soldiers. I clean my house every day. I want it to be done my way. So that's why I usually just do it myself. Sometimes if I'm on the phone with someone, I might start listing off things that I do. The menu for dinner, the roast, the potatoes, the cookies, the bread, just to make it seem like we have everything that the American family is supposed to have.
Could Dad take Hunter to soccer practice tonight? Yeah, I'll have Hunter ready at 5:30.
I don't think there is room for Tony in that perfect life that she has in her head.
She's got it all. She goes to church. She's got 3 good kids, but yet the marriage, too hard to manage that.
It's one of my roles. I know I'm married, but I don't necessarily act like a wife. We don't communicate, we don't talk about things, we don't interact.
We sleep in separate rooms, have for probably the last 2 years. I sleep with my oldest 2, and she sleeps with the youngest in his room. And I'm tired of it, and I don't know how to fix it. I feel like she's managing the marriage very little, like 0%. I do want her to stop trying to have a perfect family. As you can see, I'm a mess. The kids have problems. We all have problems. We're not perfect.
Okay. What do you think about what you just watched?
It's not surprising, but it's sad.
How?
That's not how I wanted my life to be.
How did you want it to be? What was the dream? What was the plan?
Probably the plan was to have it all together, but I didn't think I was going to hurt people along the way. And I have hurt people. I've hurt my kids, I've hurt my husband, I've hurt myself.
Here's what you said, quote, "People look at the family as a Stepford family, but I feel sneaky because I know the truth. I'm just playing one big charade.
I feel like my life is a charade. And my whole day is to try and figure out how to not let people see the true, what's really going on.
Because you say, even if somebody calls and says, so, what are you doing? You'll say, oh, well, I'm baking cookies or putting a roast in the oven or something. You might just be sitting there staring at the wall, but you feel like you have to be the perfect one. Everything's together. You're always at the homeroom. You're always here. You're always there. You're Johnny on the spot everywhere. What are you afraid people are going to conclude about you if you don't keep that mask up?
That I'm worthless.
Why would they conclude that? What do you know about you that you think everybody would see if you didn't keep up the facade?
I think they would see the real me, which I don't let anybody see. I think they'd be disappointed.
Tell me about the worthlessness.
I just feel like I don't measure up to anything, so I have to do everything that I can tangible.
What is it that you're afraid people are going to see and go, oh no, she's going to have to leave. She cannot be around here. What is it you think they're going to see? Are you dumb?
I think so.
Okay. And do you think that you're a bad person, a bad spirit?
Sometimes.
Okay, so your kind of evil, dark side is going to come out?
Right.
Are you ashamed of your history?
Yes.
What are you ashamed about most in your history?
Probably choices I've made.
Such as? Look, this is about taking the wall down. What are you so ashamed of? What are you afraid we're going to see? That you're adopted?
That doesn't really bother me. I mean...
Doesn't bother me. I'm just going through the list of things. I'm just going back. What could it possibly be?
Just that I am who I am.
Okay, so you've decided not to tell me. All right. Now, I mean, I know when I'm getting run around the mulberry bush here, I ask you the question, and you're not going to tell me, are you?
I have to come up with the right answer.
Yeah, I understand. And you know I already know the answers. I don't ask questions if I don't already know the answer.
I know that.
So I was just going to see whether or not you really came here to get real or whether you didn't. And I'm convinced you did.
I absolutely did.
Oh, I'm not through with you yet.
To everyone on the outside, Beth tries to be the best. Tony doesn't come home to a pleasant, loving household. He feels like he's being cheated.
We're talking today with people who say they want to be perfect so badly that they try and control everything and everybody around them. Now, Beth closely monitors her husband and children to make sure they look perfect to the world. Now, her husband, Tony, says it's just all an act. It's not real. What is real, Tony? What is behind the picket fence? I mean,
There's not much behind it.
All right, tell me.
I'm behind it, she's behind it, the kids are behind it, but as far as any kind of relationship, there's nothing.
Okay.
I want there to be.
You're concerned about the children.
There's times.
I mean, one of your children is having anxiety attacks so bad now because, like, how can you ever measure up to perfect, right? How can you ever measure up? And so there's never that time of feeling like, wow, I am a winner. Because it's hard, you can't ever get to that place, right? Do you feel like you can't please her?
Yeah, not all the time, but a lot of the time. I feel like I don't measure up. Obviously, I don't because I don't feel that love from her.
What do you want in your relationship with Beth?
A happy, loving wife.
Do you love your husband?
I do.
Well, that was warm. I do. Yes, I love him.
I haven't felt love for him.
Of course not. There's no room for it, right? I mean, everything is crowded out.
That's not a perfect thing. It's a feeling. And that doesn't fit in well, so it doesn't get really paid attention to.
Let me try a theory on you. See how you feel about this. People always ask me, why do people do this? Why do they over-control? Why does everything have to be their way, precise, all of these things to the point that it actually cripples your health? Now, I'm not talking about just being good at what you do. You know, you can be a good mom, you can be a good dad, you can be a good police officer, you can be a good butcher, baker, candlestick maker, whatever. You can be really good at what you do. But I'm talking about when you go to the point that it actually wears you out. And Beth, aren't you just really, really tired?
I am absolutely exhausted.
Don't you get to the point where you think, if I have to keep another ball in the air, if I have to put on another mask, if I have to put on another performance, I just don't know.
I'll be done. I feel like it's going to take me over the edge.
I think you're already there.
And as you get older, you know, you're not old, but as you get older, you're going to find you have less and less energy to keep all the balls in the air. And some of them are going to start hitting the ground, and then you're going to start panicking.
I think they're hitting the ground, and I'm doing I think they're all hitting.
Yeah.
And I'm doing damage control on what's hitting.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Well, trying to do damage control.
And that's my whole point. Here's the deal. My theory that I want to try on you is when I see people working so hard to make the world, everything just perfect, I think what they're trying to do is organize internal chaos. It's like internally, it's like if we could unscrew the top of your head and look in, it'd scare us to death. Because it would just look chaotic in there, wouldn't it? It would be like this worry, this fear, this pain, this hurt, all of these things around. And it's kind of like, okay, if I can get the world, if I can get external order, that gives me a little bit of relief for the internal chaos. What if you just decided to give yourself permission to say, you know what? This is wearing me smooth out. I can't do this. I'm scared to death in here. I'm hurting in here. I've been through bulimia. I've been through anorexia. I've been through anxiety. I've been through depression. I've run the entire gamut. I just can't do this. I need some help. Do you think he would say, oh, well, then I got no use for you?
No, because he hasn't.
How long have you been married?
17 years Saturday.
17 years. Do you think in that 17 years that you have always been easy to love?
Oh, no.
Okay, but where is he right now?
Right here.
Yeah, he's sitting right next to you on the DrPhil show. Okay?
Which is huge.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, that's huge. Us bald guys stick together. You had to know coming here, because everybody in your town, everybody in your neighborhood's watching this show. And they're knowing you ain't really sticking a roast in the oven every time they come. Okay? They know that might have been spaghetti sauce from a jar.
Maybe.
They know. You're allowing that out there at this point. And you know what I'll bet you people are going to say about that? You don't know what I think they're going to say? What? Oh, thank God, because she was intimidating the hell out of me. Thank God she's like the rest of us. But the idea is you came here. There's a reason you came here.
The tension between me and Beth, you could cut with a knife. There's a lot of sadness behind these walls. That's the facade. Everybody on the outside sees the family's doing well. And I haven't been happy for a very long time.
We're talking today about some of the problems that arise when, in a family, when a member gets too controlling. Now, in my book, Family First, I talk about breaking the family legacy chain when it comes to negative patterns. Now, Beth's need to create a facade of perfectionism is ruining her marriage. I think it's ruining her family. I know it's destroying her health. Tony's mom, Mary, is with us today, and she worries about this and what it's doing to her son and to her grandchildren. It's hard to watch this, isn't it?
It is hard to watch it.
What do you think is going on?
I think Beth is so ruled by her inner self that she can't let anything else come in.
You're worried about your grandchildren.
I'm very worried about
What do you see that worries you in them?
In the youngest one, I see uncontrollable tantrums at times. You can never count on what's going to happen, and it can come out of the clear blue sky. The middle one used to be the storyteller of the family, happy. If you would turn your attention to that boy, he would tell you a story as long as you looked at him. Now he's quiet. He just kind of sits and stares into space. The oldest one used to love a hug, and now he pulls away, and he's real somber, sits with his arms crossed, glares at you.
What's your reaction when you hear that?
It hurts, but I know it's the truth.
And you hear Tony say, I don't feel the connection.
There is no connection.
It's just...
I'm sitting in a chair, she's sitting in a chair. It could be any one of these women up here or men sitting here. It'd be the same.
And that's not what you want?
That's not what I anticipated 17 years ago, by any means. That's not what I want now, no.
Why have you stayed?
Because I love her.
Why do you love her?
She's the one I married. She's got the heart that I want. She's just afraid to give it.
As you hear this, when you hear what Mary is saying, I worry that you hear that and say, see, I knew it. It's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, and I'm bad, bad, bad. Part of you hears it that way. True?
I think my kids got a pretty sad shake in life that they have me as their mother.
Let me tell you something. I had a coach tell me a long time ago, he said, you're only a loser if you quit while you're behind. I'm here to tell you, you're not worthless. You are scared. You know things going on inside you that you say, oh, everybody hasn't seen the full picture yet. You want to see some ugly now? I'll show you some ugly. Everybody's got some ugly. You just have to decide that you're going to be your own best friend. And this is going to take you being willing to test some limits. It's going to take you being willing to do some work on you selfishly for a period of time, because you can't give away what you don't have. If you don't love yourself, it's real hard for you to love him. And if I help you with that, if I arrange some help for you to start deconstructing this wall you've got in front of you and to start testing the limits some, are you willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Now, it means you're going to have to do some things that would just scare the bejeebers out of you.
All right.
Okay? Because, I mean, like starting off, I may ask you to just totally throw caution to the wind and break out in a smile. Okay? And then maybe learn to laugh, maybe learn to dance, maybe seduce your husband. I mean, who knows?
Never know.
You can't let your hair down, but
Nope.
in time. All right, are you gonna let me help you here?
Yeah.
And are you in for this?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, this is not gonna, he's stuck on that seduce your husband part. We're talking about controlling perfectionists today. Now, my next guest came to the show today for one thing and one thing only, and that is to challenge me on past statements I made to former controlling guests. So I guess she wants to control what I say. I don't know. Take a look.
I have issues with Dr. Phil telling people that they're too controlling.
Who do you think you are? Do you tell them how to eat, how to feed the baby, how to fold towels?
I bet that woman has a lot of reasons for controlling things the way she does. Dr. Phil, aren't you a little bit controlling? When your staff is working on a major production project,
5 of the 7 on Y.
if they fail to meet the deadline or they get it a few days late,
Better get there in time.
do you just say, oh well, I'll just lighten up? I doubt it. I'm the CEO of my household, my home is my business, and I'm in charge of seeing that every detail is taken care of. 7:15 up, rally the kids, breakfast, lunches, homework, head out the door, meet the bus. The bus does not wait. Get Corbin ready, take Corbin to school, run errands, do laundry, watch Dr. Phil. Even most important CEO has to take a break. I begin dinner prep and then dinner time. Sometimes my corporation doesn't have the day-to-day success that I want it to. If my husband says he's going to empty the dishwasher and then he doesn't, it affects my business plan for the whole day. As I say, everything in its place for everything. I know a lot of people say it, but I truly believe it. I have a fetish about having long sleeve shirts by themselves. It's important to me that my kids be color coordinated. We have taught the kids to respond, yes mom or yes dad. We also need to hear an affirmative from them when we ask them to do something. They say, okay, mom. We make them pick up their toys every night. Good job, pal. Eventually they will learn that they need to pick up their toys. I think controlling situations just creates an efficient company, better product, a better bottom line, a better family.
Okay. You refer to your family as your staff.
For this purpose, I do.
Yeah, in your letter,
it's much the same way.
In your letter, you
It's much
refer
the
to
same
them as
thing.
your staff.
Right.
Okay, you're saying that I shouldn't be telling people that they shouldn't be controlling.
I'm just saying you need to look at a household like you do your business. Because if you're running a household, you've got deadlines to meet, you've got personnel matters to mess with, you've got financial obligations. So you have to be controlling to a degree. You can't just let things go willy-nilly. The whole house will just fall apart. the world might come off its axis if you actually do that.
So I should just tell people it's not okay to just be willy-nilly. Is that what you said? Willy-nilly. You sound like me. What is the matter with you?
I'm from Oklahoma. It's close.
I know. You're from Edmond, Oklahoma.
That's right.
I got in trouble in Edmond one time. I'll tell you.
I heard about that.
Did you?
I heard you tell the story.
Yeah, I got arrested in Edmond.
It's a tough place.
I was 12. What can I do? But, okay, my point is this, and I would love to argue with you, but I don't have a problem with being efficient. I don't have a problem with somebody taking charge and running things in an efficient manner. In fact, in your situation, because I do my homework, I see that, to me, your kids look really happy and they seem to be having a great time. I think your husband's in the rocking chair saying, hey, have at it, man. Absolutely, have that, right? If you want to, no problem.
I'm happy.
No problem. And so if it works for everybody, then I think that's great. If it really works for everybody, and it seems to really be working for you.
It really works. I think it could work for everybody. I mean, you're right, you can be too controlling, but I just think sometimes just to say someone's controlling
let's just
offhand.
I don't want you to get willy-nilly on me here. I want you to just belly up to some of the things that you said you had a problem with in the tape.
Okay.
I watched the tape.
I can do that.
And you're saying how ridiculous it is for me to be criticizing Ed because he wants his wife to pick up her towel.
Right.
Okay, did you leave the room and that was the only part of that story that you saw?
I did not ever hear you tell her that. I hear you often say marriages aren't 50-50, they're 100-100. But I never heard you tell her she should pick up a wet towel.
Well, let me tell you why you never heard me say that.
Okay.
Because the last thing that overbearing and over-controlling person needed was some more ballast to bully his wife. Okay? Now, that's exactly why I didn't do that. Now, you might kind of walk through the room or something and catch that, but let me ask you if you caught this. Did you catch when she says, I consider myself to be abused? He says to me, if you have half a brain, why don't you use it, woman? That he belittles her and he belittles her son, that when she hears his car pull up in the driveway, she gets knots in her stomach and becomes nauseated. She feels like he is a volcano ready to explode because of the way he treats her, and she is scared because she knows he is going to scream and yell if she fails to measure up. Did I read those correctly? Those are her quotes.
It seems that. So you're saying that you didn't want to give him any more ammo, basically.
I'm saying there's a difference between being efficient and being overbearing and over-controlling and running people's life to the point that it is demeaning and belittling to them. And I said that was wrong then, and I say that's wrong now. I also say that if you have a relationship that is negotiated, and relationships are negotiated, where you have someone like you who, in my view, has a wonderful spirit with the way you do things. You know, your children don't march around like soldiers. Those kids are rolling in the floor and laughing and giggling and picking up their toys and running over and hugging you and at the table having fun and that sort of thing. Your husband is thrilled to death that he's got somebody really running the home front and being in charge of all of that, as Robin has run our home very efficiently over the years, and I've been just thrilled to death with that. That's no problem. But there is a distinction, and I think it is a bright red line between someone that is efficient and controls the situation and someone that is overbearing and over-controlling and demeans someone else in their process to do it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I just think on the whole, you know, like I've said before, when you run, I have seen how this place runs. And it is like a well-oiled machine. That's how I feel about my household.
Yeah, these are my staff.
You actually pay them money to do that.
This is their job. If you have a job that doesn't have stress, you don't have a job. You're just going to a building and being paid. You know, these people all take great pride in what they do. And also, let me say, I don't particularly like that idea of like referring to them as staff, but I know that was part of your illustration in your letter. I don't think you really march them around like that. I think your kids take great pride in like their room and their hygiene and stuff like that. They've learned that sense of mastery. Don't you think they do?
Oh, I do, yeah.
I think they're very proud of themselves that they do big boy stuff.
They're learning to be self-sufficient.
Yeah, they really do.
Absolutely.
So I don't have a problem with that. My problem is I would not want you to blur that line because I think you can cross that line and become overbearing and over-controlling.
Oh,
and I don't think you are.
I don't either.
And I'd tell you.
Okay. I'm sure you would.
Just one old country boy to another, I'd tell you.
That's right.
Well, today we're talking about how being overly controlling and critical can tear apart families. Now, I've written a book called Family First, and in Family First, I talk about how to have a phenomenal family. And it's really important to understand that in a phenomenal family, everybody has a role. Everybody feels good about their role. Everybody feels validated and important. Now, Robin says nothing she does is up to her husband Brad's demanding standards, and he reminds her of that fact every minute of the day. Take a look.
My husband is a controlling perfectionist.
I think I'm flexible.
Excuse me. Brad wants me to do everything the correct way, and the correct way is his way.
You know,
if you want to do it, you can do it. According to Brad, I don't clean the bathroom properly.
When something needs to be cleaned, scrub it, not just wipe it up real quick and call it done.
He wants to annihilate every germ in the bathroom. In Brad's eyes, I vacuum incorrectly. He frowns and shakes his head. I'm not doing it right.
You need to get behind the furniture. Her way, there's stuff left behind. I can see there's things that she needs to improve on.
Brad doesn't see why there should be any dirty dishes in the sink.
The dishes drive me crazy.
If it bothers him that much, I feel like that he should do it. Brad doesn't trust me to do his laundry because I don't iron his shirts properly. I tend to roll socks. He gets really angry because that ruins the elastic.
I usually just fold my socks because that way you're not stretching them out. They're together.
Brad criticizes my cooking. Brad gets mad at me for not parking perfectly straight in the driveway. In Brad's workshop, he drew a line around every screwdriver, hammer, and wrench. If I borrow them, it makes him upset.
It just drives me crazy.
Going on a walk with Brad is a death march. He walks very fast. He has to get his heart rate up to a certain level or it doesn't count. He does a lot of shrugging, and he does a lot of frowning, and he does a lot of kind of stomping around the house.
A lot of tension in the house.
If Brad does not change, I don't see myself continuing to be married to him. Dr. Phil, can you please knock some sense into my controlling, critical, and judgmental husband?
Okay. Now you're feeling sorry for him now, right?
I am.
Because you put it all in one place.
Yeah,
What do you think about this?
We don't communicate well. Robin does things her way, I do things my way.
Here's what she said in her letter. She says he's critical, applies the same standards to me that he does to a hex nut. Has to be very precise, unable to compromise without holding a grudge, unable to forgive or apologize, sees everyone's flaws but his own, and thinks there is no place for emotion. Life is about logic. Now, that's her perception. Is she correct or incorrect?
I think she's incorrect. I think she's missed the growth that I've made in the last few years. I used to be the type of person, she'd ask me how I feel. I used to say, I don't know. She got upset because I didn't answer her question, but I didn't know. I didn't answer her question. I have since grown from that. I do have feelings now, and a lot of times, the last few times she asked me how I felt, instead of listening to my answer, when I told her, she told me I was wrong for the way I felt.
How does that make you feel when that happens?
It makes me feel like I can't trust her.
Well, how do you suppose she feels if that's how you feel when she does that to you?
I think we're both extremely frustrated.
But you've been trained at, what's your job?
I'm an engineer.
You're an engineer. And when you're an engineer, I mean, for you, it's math, not magic, right?
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter how bad you want that to go in there. It either fits or it doesn't. And so then you get all that formalized training, and it just can make you see life on a schematic,
yes,
right? But have you ever done any research and tried to get a schematic of a woman?
And I agree with exactly what you're saying. I mean, as I've grown, I started as an engineer. I was very technical and very much into the technology. As I've gotten older, I've realized computers get boring. They have a horrible personality. I want to spend more time with people. And I think our problem is now that I'm reaching out, it's too late. Robin's not there to be receiving any of that.
I don't think it's too late. All right, we're talking about people who scrutinize every little detail just to make sure everything is right, wants everything to be perfect. Now, Robin says her husband, Brad, insists on washing his own clothes and ironing his own shirts. The problem with that is?
Not much.
Okay. And she says that if she fails to perform to his standard, then it's criticism time. Now, 16 years you've been living with this, right?
Yes.
He's saying that he is making some changes. True or false?
I think he believes he is making changes.
Uh-huh.
I think he believes that.
You agree he's smart, right?
Oh, he's smart.
I've heard that bald people are really smart.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
You understand as an engineer the concept of outcome criteria, right? I mean, you look for measurable outcomes to determine whether or not changes that you've made, things you've done in a design or whatever, have had a positive effect, right?
Right.
So that's measurable outcome criteria. The same thing is true here. If you want a really good relationship, you have to learn to pick your battles, right?
Right.
I mean, if she doesn't move the furniture to vacuum under it, then that's something you can set aside to do on Saturday if you want. But in the meantime, is that really a battle that you want to pick?
I think part of the problem with what I have been doing is repressing my anger, and when I'm doing that, it's just making me more angry. I haven't been expressing my frustration. We have cats in the house. It's one reason the vacuuming's so important. I have allergies towards cats, and if you don't clean enough, then that affects me in my health and how I feel. I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation.
I'm not either, as long as it isn't number 27 for the day. That's the problem. If it's, I didn't like this, I didn't like this, I didn't like this, I didn't like this. The question becomes, and you can say that you've been repressing your anger. Look, if you need to get your anger out, then we'll figure a way for you to get your anger out. I mean, you can go howl at the moon, you can yell and scream, but anger is not a productive emotion in a relationship, particularly with your wife.
And I agree
just
with that.
venting your anger so you feel this cathartic release.
Right. And I'm not trying to vent my anger.
I disagree with that.
Well, I've been,
But listen, it's about negotiation, and you've got to ask yourself, how much fun are you to live with? I mean, both of you have to ask yourself that. How much fun are you to live with? Because you've got to decide, is it more important to me to be right about how this vacuuming is done, right about the point that you have to sneak tools into the house to fix something, right about...
Let's talk about the tools.
No. This is see, you missed that point about picking your battles.
If she's using my stuff, shouldn't I have some expectation when I put that stuff up there so that I can find it and easily... Because otherwise...
Absolutely.
Otherwise, in our household, the rule is you finish the last job that somebody didn't finish before you begin the next job.
Okay.
You might have to carry us over to the next,
right.
the next show.
Look, here's the deal. You have to decide what the end goal is. What we're talking about here is you've got to decide that where we want to get is up the hill so we have a warm and soft place to fall. And you can be right about the tools, you can be right about the cats, you can be right about your shirts, you can be right. You've listed 7 or 8, 9, 10 things here that you're right about. Okay, you're right. But it ain't working for you at the marriage level. What you got to do is say the big right that I'm looking for is to find a place that both of us can be excited about our marriage, our union, our family. Both of us have space. I have to be forgiving. I want to be forgiven, and I have to be forgiving. And that's a different goal than getting your pliers back.
I agree. But it's a two-way street. I mean, what I'm saying is...
I don't think it's going to be a two-way street very long. I mean, seriously now, what you're doing...
When I sit in my house and I don't feel like I'm at home, then I think there's a problem with something in the house.
There is, and that means that that's something that you've got to work at, but it doesn't start by taking your partner's inventory. It doesn't start by getting out your checklist and saying, in our house, we do not start another job until the last one is finished. That's not just, it just doesn't give you that warm, fuzzy feeling.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying there comes a point where you got to say, you know, if I have to go buy some more pliers, you know, if it avoids a conflict for today, then maybe I'll choose to avoid that conflict for today. Does that mean you shouldn't go put the pliers back? Of course it doesn't. You should respect him and his things and his tools and
I just
all
don't
of
like
those
feeling
things.
like if I forget, like I know I should do it. But if I forget, I don't want to get in trouble.
I understand. You don't want a parent-child relationship here.
Exactly.
If you have a parent-child relationship, that's not good for your sex life because most people don't like to crawl in bed with daddy.
Amen.
Okay? It's not good. So, do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.